Hello and welcome to the Flory Models Friday Roundup show. Here we are with you on the 8th of December 2023. Really good week for me this week. Not only did we finish off the actual Viking at last, we will speak about that in a moment, but got lots of other jobs done. We got some great reviews for you sorted out as well. Did the review obviously on the Ming Apache, and I've done a side-by-side comparison review about which kit you should buy. You know, again, it's personal choice. We'll talk about that in a moment as well. And also we did a little bit more, as you can see down in here on the Helldiver. We had some lovely live shows as well, some great content and feedback from you guys. So yes, lots and lots going on. Anyway, all started on Tuesday with the live show with me and Matt as making our way through. Obviously we finished off the Phantom, so we looked at that one as well from the week before, but generally working our way through. Remember, it's our usual live show, everything that's going on down in here. Quite a lot of chat on this one, to be honest. Not much things going on of all the bits and pieces, although I was playing around with some weathering pencils and Matt was doing some various bits as well. Down in here, if it's going to load through, there we go. So we're doing some various things, as you can see. Don't forget, the Tuesday show is literally just a bit of fun. You can answer any questions you like, just post them up into the chat rooms and stuff, and we can get back to you. And you say, Matt's doing a little bit of scraping down in there with the old scraping tools. I'm getting in there with my crayons, doing a bit of weathering with water-based pencils and various things. So yes, a good old show, and we had some good comments and some chats and things like that on there as well. So that's the show for you. So if you want to know all about it and what we get up to and all the bits and pieces, have a look at these shows. You can get a good feel for it. As I say, they're free to watch every single Tuesday afternoon at 3 p.m. But obviously you can watch them as a recorded show as well if you wanted to, or whichever way you want to do it. So yes, good old show with that one. So anyway, that was up with you on Tuesday. On Wednesday, obviously, we're speaking about the Apaches because they were in here as well. We had the PM show. So the PM show is the PM model site. And we were going through and we were talking about obviously the latest releases, what's going on in the hobby, in the industry, and all the other bits that go with it. We're talking a lot about A7 Corsairs and various things. So if you want to have a look at this one, you can do. Matt did a little bit of a live unboxing of the I Love Kit Gladiator, as you can see down in there as well. Again, basically it's a show all about the PM model store, what we get up to, obviously what's new in, what's going out, and everything in between, and obviously everything's going on in the industry. So if you want to catch up with that one, you can do. It is free to watch and it is available right now. Then obviously it was the not quite a podcast show last night with me and Matt, but we did have Nathan on with us as well, which was for a very, very good reason. And that was because, if I get him down in here as well, hold on, where's the bit with Nathan talking? There we go, that was it. So Nathan was basically, he's doing a bit of a charity at the moment for doing, for the Children's Hospital, Alderhays. He's trying to get a pallet full of toys for the kids. All right, now I'll put the links down below here and all the rest of it, but there you go, you can see it all down in there, just like that. So I've got all the guys at the university, they're trying to do it. They've got a wish list up on Amazon. So you can literally just, you know, make a donation by buying them a toy. It gets sent directly, obviously, to Nathan at the university. And the idea is they're going to load up the pallet. As you can see down in here, they've started it already with all toys for the kids, and they're going to get them in time for Christmas. So basically, it's all the poor old kids who are stuck in hospital over Christmas, and it's some toys for them. So if you want to make a donation, I highly recommend it. I will put the links down below in the show notes on here as well, so you can go off and you can find that one. But Nathan has done it on the site and in various places as well. But I will recap with all of those ones. So yes, good old show. And then obviously we're talking about everything that's just going on and the various bits and pieces, answering all your questions and generally having a good old chat about everything as well, including Harriers and how they are the second greatest aircraft out of Britain ever. So yes, down in there. The other big thing, of course, was this little lump, which was obviously the review for the Ming Apache. Now, obviously, you've probably been a bit Apache'd out if you're like me, and you've seen lots of things about Apaches over the last couple of months, obviously with the TACM ones, and it just needs you one after the after. But actually, I really like this one. This is the Meng's call on it, and it's got some nice differences between the two kits. Mainly this one, you get a mast set for it. So you get internal and external mast set for it. The instructions are usable, unlike the TACM ones, which is just woeful. And you get full colour call-outs and all the rest of it down in here. Remember, pop on the site, you can come in, you can just click on these, you get the high-res images then off of this, and you can go right the way through for these. All right, so you get some really nice touches with this particular kit, and the build itself, although the kits are almost identical, there is some subtle differences between them. As you can see, the way that they've done it. The main one's a little bit more modular, shall we say, so we're expecting to see other versions coming down the line, where the Taken one was a little bit more specific. So they did the Echo kit, they did the early longbow, the late longbow, and obviously the foreign ones, and obviously the AH1. This one is a little bit more modular the way that they've done it. So again, but as you can see, the details on it are literally on a par. It's very difficult to call them out, but there is some nice little ones in this kit, i.e. here, the wiring. It's all moulded in as well, so it's really easy, which I think is easier than trying to scratch build wiring onto them like you've got on the Taken kit. But generally some really nice details right the way through. So if you want to go off and see that review, you can do right the way through. So to go along with that one, what I've done is I've done a video now which is basically a versus video. Now normally I don't do these. To be honest, I don't even like them. I hate it when people do, oh, this is such and such a kit and this is somebody else's, because you know, normally you've got that situation where they're different. There's usually a difference between the two, all right? But sometimes you do get them and they come along and you do have that genuine question, like, which one would you build? Because they're identical. And technically, even the level of detail is identical. It's really difficult to call it. So what I've done is I've done a 20-minute video which is basically looking at the key areas between both these kits, and we do a side-by-side comparison, all right? And you can look at it and say, right, well, I'd rather do that one or not. So we look at kits from an overall purpose as well. So obviously the thing with the Taken one, it does come with a ton of photo etch. So if you like photo etch detail, which gives you a great scale effect, that's the kit for you. If you don't like photo etch, go down the Ming route. And again, the Ming one's got a full colour mask set for it, which is absolutely fantastic. When I say colour, I mean inside and out. So you've got both the mask sets for it, internal and external mask sets with it. Obviously you don't with the actual, with the Taken kit. Details right the way through are incredibly similar. To be honest, it's really hard to call it. The riveting is just slightly different between the two, but we are really splitting hairs on there. So level of detail between both kits, I think, is very difficult to call it. All right. And before everyone says, I know this is an Echo and it's got the laser warning receivers on it and all the other bits and pieces. Obviously, the longbow doesn't, but I was just doing it from a general overall point of view because the kits are very similar. But again, a lot of it is down to you on how you do your work and your building. If you're into scratch building and extra detail, I think the Taken kit is probably more for you. If you're more of a just want to build it and get on with it and get moving, then obviously I think the Ming one is definitely for you. Instruction wise, the Ming ones are far superior because it's got colour callouts all the way through and it's a lot easier to follow. It's in colour, so it's very straightforward to follow it and all the rest of it. So from that point of view, that's about it. My last point that I make on this particular one is the glasswork. The glasswork on the Taken one, it's in basically, 4 pieces on this one. So I think we got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. Well, obviously down here on the Ming one, it's literally just in 3 pieces because it molds it all in one. This section, as you can see, it's just the doors that are open, which I think is a lot easier. This one, you've got the overhead bit, then you've got the sides, and then obviously you've got the sides on the other one because they're going to be loose fits. I think that's a little bit tedious the way they've done it. Because it's engineered that way as well, when you're putting up the actual grab handles and the various things into the internal framing to it, they've had to be moulded on one part or the other. It's not just in the corner, for instance. So it makes it incredibly close to the clear part. Literally, the hole is on the clear part. So when you're gluing, you've got to be very careful because it's there. Again, that's an area where I think that's a weak spot on the particular kit than I do over the Ming. That said though, the surface detail on the clear parts is better on the Taken one than it is the Ming. So again, it's one of those ones I often say about, it depends on your style of building. If you like the details, if you like all the intricacies that goes into it, then you're going to go down the Taken route because it's got all of those ones. If you like more of a straightforward build and an easier approach to building, you're going to go with the Ming one. But that said, I can't split hairs between both of those. You know, literally from a detail point of view, I can't tell the difference. There's just very subtle differences into it. So again, like the Ming one, I don't know, the actual displays, the pilots and the gunners displays, things like that, look a little bit nicer. But again, that's being really, really picky at the end of the day. And again, if you're going to come in there and sand it all off and just going to go in with a Quinta Studios colour set for it, then it doesn't matter anyway, because you're going to get rid of all that detail. But generally though, this is one of those ones where I've been asked a lot of times, which one would I build? If I had to build one, which one would it be? So I can often say now, because seeing both kits, I'll build the Ming one, because I like the more straightforward approach to it, and then I can detail and do bits and pieces as I like. And again, the plastic on the Ming one's a little bit harder, and I like the harder styrene than obviously I do on the Taken one, which is a little bit softer. But literally, this has probably been one of the closest versus ones I've ever done, where it's literally which one would you go for, because it's almost impossible to split hairs between the two. I'm sure as well one of the big factors in this will be what versions you want to do. If you want to do an Echo, then obviously you're going to go along and do the Guardian, then obviously you're going to go Taken because it's available and you can get it. It's a bit like if you want to do the AH1 for the British version and things like that. Taken's got your back there, they've got the kit out, you could just go out and get it. At the moment, Meng, all we've got down in here is the longbow, but it looks like it has got early and late longbow in the kit. So things like the TDAC, you can swap between both and various bits and pieces, which are the easy ways to spot it. But generally though, I think they are both absolutely fantastic kits. They're really, really nice, very, very detailed. And I think if you're going to build any of those ones or both of them, you know, you're going to love it. They are that nice. I have said, if you go back to the Wednesday show, if I get 1,000 likes on that video on YouTube, I'll build both before Christmas, which is a bit tight because I'm literally going to have 2 weeks to do it, but I will do it. That's it. At the moment, we're standing at just under, I think it's about sort of 650 likes on it. So again, if you want to get in there, you want to vote, pop over to YouTube, hit the like button on that particular video, on the Wednesday video, which is, if I just go back up to it, oh, where are we? Sorry, if we go back up to it, up to the top. So by going over here, if we just go to vlog, just pop over to this particular one here. All right, down in here, if you click down in there, and then obviously if you play it and then go to YouTube, down in YouTube world, as you can see,
to roll out
you can see it down in here, you can actually do it. Sorry, let's get rid of that and skip that. You can see the actual video. If that video there literally gets 1,000 likes, I will build both. That's my pledge to you guys. All right, so we will see how that actually goes with it. God help me if we actually get to 1,000 likes, which I never thought we would do it, so that's why I said it. But if it does, I will actually do both. So yes, but really, if you're an Apache fan, you're now just sport for choice at the end of the day, because they are both great kits all the way through. The other big thing, of course, is this little lump got finished. So again, this is one of those ones where it's like, it's fought me every step of the way, if I'm honest. It's been a bit of labour of love. This is, for, if you don't remember, is actually the Atalery. If I just skip over, I can show you. This is actually the Atalery 48 scale one, and obviously we use the Black Dog resin set right the way through this. So if you want to pop in and see all these photos and see exactly what we're up with all of these, you can do that up on the site right now, and then obviously you can just pop in and literally click on any of the pictures and it will go full screen, and you can get a really good clear image of what we've been up to, making our way through this entire one. Members, obviously you can watch this as a 13-part video, you can go right the way through it, and again the reveal photos are all up now. But again, this is one of those ones where I thought in my head it's going to be a straightforward quick build, won't take long, we're going to use some aftermarket stuff of quality, and it's going to be a drop-in replacement, and we'll be able to shove this in. We'll have a nicely detailed Vikings, an aircraft that I've wanted to do for 20 odd years, and it'll be straightforward. No, it wasn't. So really what the problem we've got here, that this is using the Black Dog resin replacement sets for these, and unfortunately they don't fit. So I said before, and I've spoken about it on various shows, I'm pretty sure a mould has been taken from a mould. They're getting smaller each time it's done. They're not taking a mould off the original part. That may have been damaged, it may be destroyed even. But the trouble is, when you take a mould off of a mould, they get slightly smaller with each one. So this one now is between 1 and 2 mil too small. So when we were putting this together, especially something like the big weapons bay underneath, that was a little bit of a headache because technically none of it lines up now. So we had to make some shims with plastic card and using filler and things like that to pack it out a little bit. Also, the overall diameter on the nose with the radar, it's too narrow now, so there's a big gap. When you put the two fuselage halves, you've got a gap. So again, we had to pack that out and all the rest of it and center it up and various bits. So it has been a bit of a challenge putting this one together. But again, this is one of those ones which I can honestly say I have absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it because it wasn't straightforward. And that's what I love about this hobby. Many times I could have literally just put this off to one side and gone and built a Tamiya kit or something else like that. But honestly, it was one of those ones that I was enjoying the struggle, not the pain, but the struggle with it, because it makes you use the old grey matter. How are we going to go about this? Because obviously when I chopped it all out internally and literally we ripped it all out and then put it in there, it didn't fit. So what are you going to do? Chuck it away? Put it on the shelf of doom? No, we're going to fix it. We're going to push on. Going to look at the easiest and the most straightforward way to get the fix done onto that one. And literally that is what we did. So we were just going through the motions. If I bring up that bit, I might be able to show you how bad the fit is. There we go. This is how bad the fit is for, you know, if you're wondering. That's how far out it is. So obviously we cut the parts out and then we went to put them in. And again, as you can see, we've sort of got one half in, but that's literally how far this is out. So again, you can see in here, it's 2 millimeters too short where it's shrunk. This here as well is 1 millimeter too small all the way over it. So it has been a little bit of a nightmare right the way through fitting all of this down in here. But again, it's one of those, when we got to this and we were like, Jesus, is it that far out? Yes, it was a little bit of a nightmare. So using clamps, and as you can see, this is how far out that resin part is. We had to get in here and we had to make some little changes. So we took a small slice out of the actual width here, so that way the entire model would fit more into the resin. So again, I know people might pack it out and do it, but I actually took 1 mil out of the entire width of the model so it would come together now. And as you can see, it starts all to fit together. So then we went slightly overboard, so we had to use shims to pack out in all the different areas to make all this fit and go through then. And then again, we got to the wings, and guess what? The wings didn't fit either with the resin plugins. And then we found out that the resin plugins are wrong anyway. So again, took quite a bit of a bash in to get this particular kit to work at the end of the day. As soon as we got it all together though, happy days, we moved on with it. And again, we've done something on this one which I love to do, which is completely go to town with the weathering, over weather it and give it a real gnarly look and finish and give it that proper at sea look right the way through with it. So it is a 13-parter. It has been a little bit of a struggle, but it is finished off now. So members, you can go off now and see that. And again, if you're a non-member, you can go off and have a look at the final photos and the actual photo build for it as well. So again, if you're into wanting to know how to get over certain problems, this is the video for you, because obviously I show it warts and all how to get around all of these problems and how not to panic. Don't panic, Mr. Mandarin. It's definitely on this one because, again, I think a lot of times you could just literally throw it at the wall or it becomes a shelf queen and never to be seen again. It's a good sort of, you know, teaching on how to just push through. Let's not worry about it. Let's get it together. All right. So it's like, you know, plan A, B, and C go out the window. You've still got the rest of the alphabet and then some. Okay. So you can fix anything. And it's one of those things as modelers, I think it's very easy to get so frustrated with the model. You don't see it through. But sometimes pushing through gives you a far greater sense of achievement. Because don't get me wrong, obviously we did the Phantom here last week and we built this in 3 days and it was great and it went together and there was no hassles whatsoever. And again, this is the part of modelling where it's like, it's an old favourite of mine, I thoroughly enjoyed it, but I won't really remember the build because it goes together so well. This, I can guarantee I'll be remembering this particular kit for the rest of my life because it didn't fit. And again, some of my best builds ever, I think. The big 32nd A10 Thunderbolt, that wasn't fun. That was a bit of a nightmare. And obviously over there we've got the VC10, which was a complete nightmare all the way through. It's these kits that give you a greater sense of achievement. And again, people say to me about, what does such and such kit, Tamiya kit go together? Don't know, can't remember it. Don't remember doing it. To be honest, the Zucamori Phantom, I only built it at the beginning of the year, and that's probably one of the most detailed Phantoms out there. I can't remember it going together. It went together because it's such a good kit. This wasn't, and it was a nightmare and fought me. I could tell you every single thing I did to this, and probably will be able to do it in 10 years' time. Of all the problems I faced with it, like I faced with all the other ones, I remember those parts. And I think that's part of modelling. You know, it's not being frustrated, because no one likes being frustrated. But if you get a problem, just work through it. Work the problem, fix the problem, and then you can just move on. So as soon as we got all of this packed out and shimmed up with plasticard and what we needed to do, get it all sanded in, get it all blended in, get a coat of primer on it, then afterwards it was just move on. no problem at all. So it's just getting past these little hurdles in the hobby, and I know some of you find it really difficult to get past these hurdles because it's just as easy to go off and start a new latest and greatest kit, and you end up with all these half-built kits kicking around that just need a little bit of work to get them going again. And again, we often do group builds and SIGs about, Shelf of Doom builds and that, and getting past that section. But I would say push past it because it's part of the hobby. It's what we love about this hobby. As I said, we wouldn't be model makers. We'd all be playing with Lego if you just wanted construction, all right? It's using the old brain matter, getting the old brain cells working, thinking of the best way to do it. And again, it's all trial and error. If it doesn't work, well, pull it apart and do it again. I did it with that. We superglued it all together and had to rip it all apart again and recenter it. So again, it's one of those ones. There's nothing as modelers we can't fix, apart from a broken canopy. Then you will need a replacement. So yes, good job. Anyway, so you can go off and see that one now, right now. We've got those reviews. As I say, we've got the Versus one, which will be up by the time you see this as well. So if you want to, you can go off and see those. In other news, over on the PM store, speaking of Versus, do you remember the old dogfight doubles and stuff like that? Well, we've got a little bit of a special pre-order up with you at the moment for the Spitfire Mark 1 and the BF 109E. All right, so obviously early Battle of Britain type things. These are both weekend editions, so they're really nice, very straightforward kits, but we're doing them as a bundle. So you're going to get both kits, all right? So it is two separate kits, but we're doing it as a bundle, and we're doing it for just £32 for the pair. All right, obviously you got plus postage, but obviously the recommended retail on these would be like, what, 44. So you're saving a nice bit of chunk of money on those. They're both weekend editions. As I say, they're beautiful kits, best in scale, easily. They are just fantastic. So if you fancy doing these, and if we get a lot more interest in these, we might do these with other ones as well. So it's something we've been speaking about doing for a while, sort of doing them as packages. But members, if you do fancy it, pop your name down. And then obviously we'll do it as like a pre-order on these ones so we know how many we need to get in. And then obviously we can get them out to you very, very quickly, all right? So again, these are both weekend editions of the actual Edar kits, and they both are Edar kits as well. So if you fancy doing something like that, I can highly recommend both of those kits. They are beautiful, all right? You can do that one with you right now. Over on the PM store, various things going on. Obviously on the new arrival section, obviously the Gannets are in. Hopefully I'll get a Gannet next week because Matt's sending me one down from the PM store now. So you might get a review of that next week, or it might be the week after, but sometime before Christmas hopefully. And then obviously we've got the Ming Apache. If you want to have a look at that review, obviously you can see that one, and if you fancy it, you can get it over there as well. And we've just got it up at just under 74 quid, just over 74 quid. So you can get that one there. Plus the fact the other ones, we've got the other Hobby Boss Mark IIc Hurricane in, different boxing of that one. And again, we've got the new 48 scale MiG-29K. If you want to get that one in as well. And plus the fact all the other ones. So we've got the Sally bombers are in now, and the other bits we've spoken about before. So again, some nice new arrivals into the store this week. So if you want to get any of those ones, you can do right now. Over on the special section, rockets are us. So we've got down in there the Redstone, and then obviously we've got the conveyor as well, missiles, plus the fact we've got the ICM Sally down in here for the other version. We've got the the Soviet fighter, the I-16, and again the other bits and pieces we spoke about before, and we've got the Storchy thing. So yes, so obviously this is the ski plane version because obviously he's on skis. So down in there, and again, if you want a bargain Corsair, we talked about this on last night's show. 15 quid for a 48 scale Corsair, that's a bargain. Got to be done. You can grab one of those as well, plus all your other bits and pieces. Don't forget, as always, on the actual PM store, all your paints, your glues, your bits and pieces, they are all down in there as well. Over on the Flory model store, obviously you've got your back as well if you want to get all your washes. We've got all of those down in here, and we spoke about it before. We've actually got the mugs. So the mugs are in stock now. So if you fancy getting a Flory Models mug and show your support for the channel, you can buy one of those. If you're in the UK, it's just £9.99 with free postage. Obviously, you need to pay postage if you're outside of the UK. All right, so you can see that one as well. Don't forget, it is plus VAT on this site as well. All right, so you've got all your other bits and pieces just down in there as well. So if you want to get anything from there, you can do at any point. Remember, if you want to join up and you want to support us, you can become a member and you get full access to the site. You get 15% off all Flory Models range. You get various deals and early access stuff from the PM store as well on pre-orders and stuff, plus the fact all the other stuff we do and all the other free video builds, and obviously the payware video builds are down in here as well. So if you want to see any of those, you can do. You can sign up. For European members, it's just £4 plus VAT a month, depending on your VAT rate, or you can come through the UK and we can do it as £5 a month. and then including that, and obviously £50 if you want to do it yearly, and then obviously just follow the details down below here. But just click on membership, you'll get full details, or just pop along to the contact me and shoot me a message, and I'll get back to you normally within a couple of hours on that one. And that was it for this week. Busy week. Really nice that this one's out of the way. So if I don't get 1,000 likes, I'm going to start on a project I've got down in there, which you probably have all seen already, but it's a giant resin thing that I fancy doing till Christmas. If I do get 1,000 likes, on Monday I'll be starting building 2 Apaches. So as I say, the voting for this is going to close on Sunday night. So if there's 1,000 votes down there, by the time we get to Monday morning, I'll be starting on these Monday morning. If not, I'm going to be starting on that for the run up to Christmas. Don't forget, as we get near Christmas, Christmas postage and stuff like that, get your orders in as soon as you can, please, because we don't want to get stuff getting lost in the post. One last thing, members only mugs. Unfortunately, we've been let down very, very badly by our printer, and they are not going to be this side of Christmas. Well, they're on about being delivered the day before, well, like I think the Tuesday before Christmas. Well, there's no way they're going to go out. So what we'll do is we're going to hold them off, and hopefully we'll get them out in the new year. But say, if you do want to help out and support us, we've actually got the Flory Models mug, and it's double-sided, as you can see. Really nice mug. So if you want to grab one of those, you can get one of those off the site as well, because we've got lots of them in stock. Okay, that's it from me. As always on a Friday, I'm going to leave you with your great work from the gallery. So until Monday, everybody, happy modelling. Take care.
Falling like I'm wasted. My